Maybe you're like me and you have heard a ton of people talking about line isolators like the Walrus Canvas. So today I want to talk about, do you need one of these boxes? Are they worth the hype? And maybe why you want to integrate one into your rig. What's up everyone? Welcome back to Sunday Tone. I'm Brendan, and if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. I make tons of videos just like this one, and it really does help to support this channel. So in today's video, we are talking about the Walrus Stereo Canvas, and this box is a dual line isolator as well as a DI box. And I really want to talk about line isolators and why you might want to integrate one into your rig. So the question you might be wondering the answer to is, if I'm using something like the Strymon Iridium or the Tonex pedal or the ACS1 or the Dream or the Ruby, do I need something that is a line isolator to be able to play live, to be able to record into my interface? So the answer to the question is no, you don't need a box like this to be able to play live, to be able to record into your interface. I used the Iridium for years, going straight into a normal DI box, and had great sounds with that. But today I want to tell you why you might want to get a line isolator and what it can do for your rig. So before we dive into line isolators and DIs and why you might want to use one versus the other, I want to give you a little disclaimer that I am not an audio engineer. I don't know all of the details, and I'm sure someone will be able to correct me in the comments about something that I get wrong here. But I'm just going to share with you the benefits that I saw in using a line isolator and what it has helped me do with my rig. So first, let's talk about some of the different circumstances that you might use a line isolator or a DI box in. So the first would be you're playing live, you need to take the signal out of your pedal board, convert that to XLR to send to front of house. Now typically you would use a DI box for this. Maybe your church has one or the venue you're playing at has one. And then the other circumstance is maybe you are in a recording situation or you're just at home playing into your audio interface. Some interfaces only have XLR inputs and some also do have 1/4 inch inputs. In both of these cases, you might normally reach for a DI to get your signal to front of house or into your interface. So my understanding is that a normal DI box will take your signal and it will actually drop it down. Whether you're going to front of house or you're going to your audio interface, you'll need to boost that signal back up. And inevitably, the con of that is that you will lose a little bit of high end possibly, and you will also have a signal that might get some more noise introduced into it because you need to boost it up so high. And so the difference with a line isolator is it's just taking the signal it's being fed and it actually isn't dropping it down. It's keeping it at the same volume and converting it to XLR, converting it to a balanced signal and passing that through. And so that's beneficial for using with something like the Iridium or the Tonex, the ACS1, because you're not having to boost your signal back up. You're getting the full tone out of your amp sim or your modeler going to front of house or going to your interface. Specifically, this line isolator is stereo, so it gives you the ability to run stereo. If that's something you're doing, you can also use it in mono. I know for me with my interface, sometimes I accidentally bump the 48 volt phantom power and I'm afraid, oh no, I sent 48 volts to my pedals. But this is a nice buffer to have in the middle between them to kind of protect against that. What's also nice about this specific product is it can also be used as a normal DI box. So if you're playing acoustic or you have some other instrument you're trying to use live, you can switch this over into the DI mode and just use it like you would use a normal DI box. Another reason for using a product like this is that this has a ground lift on it. Now, not all DI boxes have ground lifts, and if you've ever been playing live, sometimes you're getting some ground noise and it's really frustrating and it's hard to get rid of unless you have something like this that can lift the ground and just get rid of that noise. And kind of the final thing that I like about having the Stereo Canvas is not only can I run stereo from my pedal board into front of house, into my interface, but maybe you're like me and you have an amp that you like to play with at home, but you don't have a stereo amp setup. Well, this has a sum switch here, and what that is nice for is if you want to sum your signal to mono to send to an amp to just play through, whether you're playing somewhere with an amp or you're just playing at home with an amp. It keeps your signal intact. You're not losing your right channel from the stereo signal, and you're able to play through an amp and get that sound. So I have been using amp simulator pedals for the last few years, whether it be the Iridium or the Tonex, and I always have felt like there's a little bit of darkness to the sound of them. No matter what IRs I use or amp models that I use, they always seem a little dull, a little dark to me. And I'll be honest, I wanted to pick up one of these to see, does it change the tone at all? Does it feel like it's any punchier? Does it feel like there's any more high end in the sound? And I'm gonna demo that for you here now, but I do feel like using a normal DI, I lose a little bit of high end on my signal, and that it just loses a bit of the life that I feel like should be there. And so my experience using this after kind of avoiding getting one for a while is that it really does feel punchier. I don't think it's just the volume boost that you get out of it, but it just feels like it's a little bit beefier, a little bit thicker when you play through the canvas. So I'm gonna demo this here for you now. I'm gonna play through the canvas in the DI mode, and I'm gonna play through in the line isolator mode. And you should see how the volume changes and how it just sounds a little punchier and a little better. So to wrap things up, I don't think you absolutely need a line isolator, but if you're using an amp simulator, you really should get one if you want to get the best possible sound that you can get out of your modeler or your amp simulator. And for me, I got a great deal on this from Sweetwater. They had them on sale for a little while, and I got it thinking, okay, I'm going to return this if I don't like it. I bought this with my own money. And after using it for a few days, I thought that it was worth keeping. It was worth the money. And I want to share with you that there are a bunch of these products on the market. There's mono versions, there's stereo versions, and there are even versions that sum to XLR or have polarity switches that have things for correcting phase. And so if that's something you're looking for, Pinstripe Pedals makes a bunch of great products that do this and have a lot more features in them. They do cost a little bit more, but I would recommend those, and I would also recommend this if you need a cheaper option. But you really should get one, test it out for yourself, and see if it's worth it to you. But it's always great to have a line isolator or a DI box that you carry with you so you have the same setup no matter where you go. So thanks for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one.